They just want to be married. They
Yeah.
want to think they get married. I'm like, damn, like these other women are getting married though. So
Yeah.
black men are marrying women.
I
Like,
feel like they
so
also
what do
like
y'all like?
you can't pressure someone if they're if even if they want to do it, you
Yeah.
pressuring them is not going to put them. I'll save this. I'm gonna save this because there's a question that there's a topic on here that kind of relates to that.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. So I'm gonna
Okay.
save it. I'm gonna save it
All
because
right,
like
save it.
that's actually funny. That yes.
I be getting my homegirls mad though. They be mad because I be like, bro, like y'all not wifey material. Like you're not. Like just because you say you want to get married does not make you wifey material. Like
Right.
I'm sorry. Like they be so mad. Like I'm anti-black women or something. Like I love black women, but like there's a reason why. Like my brother married a white Hispanic girl, and they're happy. I'm like, damn. My baby mama, her brother married a white Hispanic woman, and they're happy. So I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, black men are not afraid to get married.
No.
I think some people just need to be honest about what they're offering.
Yeah, what they're bringing to the table, right?
And what they're bringing to the table.
And also like stop pressuring people.
Stop pressuring them. And maybe sit down with one of these white and Hispanic women and ask them what they're doing, because I feel like they're getting wiped up.
Hey, it's Natalia, and I really love the Ranting Raving Podcast. You should tune in.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Pink Lee. Welcome to the Ranting Raving Podcast. Today, I have a very, very special guest with me.
What's good, y'all? This is Kent Black, the Kent Black, creator, curator, founder of Free Space Collective. Yeah, I'm in the building, man. We out from the DMV today.
Yes,
thank you for having me. I'm blessed to be here. For sure.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I know it's going to be an epic episode, one for the books for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely been doing your thing for a while out here. So if you haven't tapped into Kent Black, make sure you tap into Kent Black because you're losing if you don't. All right. So as you know, we're going to get started with our normal words of wisdom, going back in time. I believe we're on episode like 20 something going back, but up to 92 in general. So you guys can go on the Hi Pink Lee YouTube page, HIPINKKLEE, and there's a playlist that says Words of Wisdom. And it's all 92 episodes. You can just binge out, have a great time. But as of today, we are going to talk about forgiveness. So forgiveness is one of those things that is very, very, it's difficult to give, but we all have to receive it. So we all have to get comfortable with forgiving people. And a lot of times, sometimes forgiving is for the other person to make them feel better and to make them feel a little bit okay. But yeah, but most of the time it's for us. It's for us.
It is for us.
It's for us.
For real.
We have the power, right? So like,
Right.
if you can't forgive someone, they kind of have power over you. They're kind of like controlling your emotion. Like you see them and you get irritated, it ruins your day.
Right.
Now
you
they
relinquish a lot of that power.
Yeah, they have it. They have all the power now.
Yeah, that's real.
So you can't like you know what I mean, and that affects you, and that affects the way you deal with the people that you love, the people that you like are forced to deal with in whatever line of work you're in. Like it literally affects your life. So and then it affects your overall like energy. Like then you're like a nasty energy. You're like one of those like
Bitter,
ew, yeah, like
yeah,
bitter, sour apple, bitter,
like
yeah, we don't want
yeah.
that. But yeah, so it's important to forgive. You can check out the episode. The episode is very short. As you know, Words of Wisdom is never longer than like 5 to 7 minutes. So, yeah, this one is like a 1 or 2 minute video. It's a very quick video, but it's very informative and it's very, I feel like it's instrumental to like, if you're trying to forgive someone, you should watch this video. Watch the episode. But yeah, so do you have any advice for people trying to forgive, or have you ever been in a situation where it's like hard to forgive someone?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as an artist, as a human being, like we definitely encounter propositions or situations, scenarios where like you might need to forgive someone, whether it's like via something they did to you or something that they didn't do to you.
Yeah.
But I think it's always like in those situations, like it is important to like empower yourself and introduce language or conversation like around it to try to like reconcile or mediate that thing. And if it turns out you can't do that, then I think you just need to kind of like meditate on that a little bit and like sit with yourself and reflect and ask yourself like, what can you be doing to make the situation better for the two of you, or like just for yourself, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like it's just you and yourself and your thoughts. So like you need to be able to sit with that. And if you
Yeah.
can't, like you said, like you're gonna find yourself just like bitter and resentful. And I think that's like a part of the human experience, but it is definitely easier to navigate when you have like the skill set to mediate and to forgive and to yeah.
That's
I
true.
think that's it.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that comes apart as a part of like emotional intelligence and also understanding ourselves. Like personally in this phase where I'm just kind of like feel like I'm getting to know myself again, and like just like, because we're forever changing. We're always evolving. We're always growing. So I'm like, oh, this okay. Look at you, girl. Oh, this is you now. And so as we like get to know, as we get to know ourselves in different ways, we also can like adjust the way we handle things. So like maybe you used to handle things like this, but now as you're evolving and growing, you handling like this. Now you're carrying it way different.
We don't have to crash out. Like
like we don't.
We don't have to crash out.
At certain, and I'm gonna tell everyone this. I'm gonna just say this. At a certain age, stop threatening to crash out, because you're not. Stop doing it. Like, oh yeah, I'm about to crash out. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Nah, crash out, bro. Crash out. Like
they be like, their crash out be like, oh, stomping around the house, like getting mad, like working themselves up to go to bed. Like, relax.
Crash out. Don't go to bed mad, but you know.
Don't get to bed mad, but like, if don't crash out, like find a way, but do not crash out and stop threatening. Like, it'll literally be somebody like 45, like, I'm about to crash out. Like, what you about to do, sir?
You can't be like approaching 50s crashing out. Like, you needed to do some work earlier on, and you missed out.
Like, the healing process never really ends, and you got a long way to go. So just make sure that you guys are forgiving people. Make sure you guys are just, you know what? No, make sure you guys are
forgiving yourself.
Forgiving yourself. Yeah. Forgiving yourself is
grace.
Hard. No, forgiving yourself is hard. I didn't even touch on it's hard. Forgiving yourself is hard because you also, you hold yourself
accountable.
Like, yes. So you hold yourself accountable, and like, that's the hardest thing too. And then once you do it, you're like, why did I do that? So now you're beating yourself up. So you have to like have this balance of like allowing yourself grace, and holding yourself accountable, and humility, right? Holding yourself accountable, but also not like berating yourself and making yourself feel worse, and literally some people can drive themselves into a depression depending on what your mental state is. Like, you can literally beat yourself up so bad for a mistake you made that like you'll like drive yourself into depression. You're like, wait, why am I? It's not the seasonal depression. It's because you can't forgive yourself, and that's hard. Journaling is the biggest way. Like, I don't journal every day. I've been trying to, but it's not going to happen. Like, it's not meant for me to journal every day. But what it is meant for me to have my journal there for is for when I have those times where I can't talk to people. Like, who am I going to talk to? Like, I can talk to my man, of course. I could talk, there's not very many people I trust to speak with, but sometimes you just need to, like, you can talk to God, of course, but sometimes you just need to write out. Sometimes I have to physically write out what I'm feeling, and then I feel better about it. It's over with. I'm cool. But I have to write it. So I feel like I've been implementing journaling, but in that way. And that's very important for me. Like, people, don't feel like pressure to journal every day. Just journal when you need to. Like, when it's on your chest to get that off, just go do it, because I promise you it's going to help in your healing process. And you'll have something to go back and look when you're looking for progress. It's like a progress report. You're like, okay. All right, I'm growing. And it's also like a reminder.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, like it is, because I look back sometimes, I'm like, I was in my bag. Like, you're so entitled. Like, talking to myself like, girl, get your, but now it's a little bit better, and it's not perfect, but it's just, it's a process, and that helps. So you guys make sure you're forgiving.
Yeah, I feel like as a music artist, or like if you're an expressive artist or an entertainer of sorts, like we do have that practice or like resource available to us, because like we do more or less like get paid or celebrated for our expression.
That's true.
And so like as a music artist or like a lyricist, like I do find myself like channeling that energy into like or having like a positive way to like express that, because I could crash out on stage. Like, I could crash out on stage. I could crash out in this song, and people will celebrate that, and and that's a blessing. But I don't try to be like toxic in my music. Like, I'm not just trying to like berate or bash people, but I feel like that is a great resource, like for me personally. Like, if I have something that's really on my mind or like on my spirit, I can like I do journal. I write that I write it in my lyrics book, or I have like a notes in my phone,
Yeah.
and I'll just like jot it down real quick because I might not have my journal on me or
Exactly.
like have my lyrics or notebook on me, so I can like put that in my phone, and then I'll go and reflect on it later. I'll be reading it and I'll be like this is a bar, like this is a bar right here.
Literally.
And then I could use that. And like I've written whole compositions like based off of just like my emotional state, like my mental health, and kind of like where I am mentally, spiritually, and like in that regard. So it's definitely like a blessing to have
I
a
like that.
means to like channel that.
Yes.
And like some ways to implement that, and not just writing it down, but like being able to like use it. I think is really beneficial, and it does help,
It
because
is.
I'll be like I love to like like talk my ish
Yeah.
on a record, but it is nice to like reflect, and I'll be like reading my lyrics. I'll be like, oh my God, like I was crashing out, bro. Like I
Y'all
was
didn't
really
even
crashing
know.
out on this song, but like it's a blessing to have that, and I find like a lot of pride and release and relief, like when I'm able to channel that in a positive way, and like
Yeah, it is
and have that
important.
message touch somebody and they can like relate to it. So yeah,
It's
yeah.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. And I think that as artists, like I didn't even like think of it like that, but it is a resource we have. So as artists, we can't take that for granted either.
Right.
Like the fact that we can do that and we can be celebrated for it, and we're not like looked at as like,
A
oh,
crash
what
out.
you talking about? Because people,
Yeah.
yeah, crash out, right? Because people are like,
Yeah.
wait, I feel that. I feel that way. Like self-sabotage, a song called Self-Sabotage is kind of like that's literally about just self-sabotaging, being in that state of like, just you keep self-sabotaging, you can't understand why, and you're
Right.
stuck, and you're just like, it's over. Like, well, they say it gets better, like, it's just like that sort of thing. So you just, yeah, we have that power, we have that ability, we have that luxury. So artists, make sure you're using it. We
real.
are about
That's
to
real.
get into the wild card. This is my favorite part, I think. No, Pick a Struggles might be my favorite, but we're about to get into the wild card. Kim Black, I'm gonna let you go first since you're our guest, and you just
All right,
pick
all
a
right.
card, and you don't have to pick from the top. You
Right
can pick-
here?
No, this one.
Oh, from right
Yeah,
here?
this is our
Okay,
second
all
segment.
right.
You
I'm
can
gonna
pick
cut the deck.
Okay, bet.
All
I love
right.
when people get into it. They're like, I'm gonna just take the first one. Nah, get into it.
All right, so I'm gonna just read this out loud, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're doing. Okay, it says, "Does your family's opinion matter in your relationship?" Okay, like for me, I don't have like a very close relationship with my family, so I couldn't really hold like their opinion to any regard that would influence my life. Like I remember when I wanted to pursue music professionally, like I was a school teacher before I was a full-time musician, and I taught for like 10 years in the public school system, and I was doing music like as a hobby, and it was like a side gig. And right now I'm a full-time musician, but like 10 years ago I was working in the school systems. I was a teacher, and like had benefits and a salary job, and like
The
summers off. Like
stability.
it's like a school teacher position, like they don't get paid a lot, but really like you only work like 9 to 10 months out of the year, because you get like summer break off, winter break off, Thanksgiving, like spring break, like you get a lot of breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was nice. And I remember I was like telling my mom, I was like, music is really getting like competitive with my day job. Like I was taking off work to go to gigs, like, because typically like you get a gig, it's like in the evening time or like on the weekends. But I feel like if you're getting booked like just around the clock as a performing artist, like
Yeah, that
like
matters.
you're getting daytime gigs, like that really matters. Like people are booking you outside of prime time, like so they have a draw, and like you're entertainment, you're not just a show at that point. So like I was taking off work, having to find a substitute to cover my classroom and that kind of thing, and like crashing out in my car. I'm like, like this, I'm scared to like jump into the music.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any like training around that, but I ultimately like quit my teaching job to pursue music full time. Best decision I ever made. But I told my mom that I was about to quit, and she was like, "Oh, definitely don't do that. Like, definitely don't throw that away." And but I did, and I told her I quit my job, and like literally, she was like, I think you made a huge mistake. You should call the county back and ask them for your job back. And I was like, no, bro. And so I don't, for me personally, like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, if they didn't like my partner, I would listen to that, like listen to their concerns, or like if they have points to make, like I would receive that. I'm not like completely against hearing someone out who might potentially make some valid points, but ultimately like that choice is up to yours. But I know like in my previous relationship, like her family didn't really like me, and that definitely swayed how she saw me as her partner.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't know, like that's just up to the person. Like some people have more family values with their current family and their elders in that regard, but I don't really, that doesn't apply to me.
See, I think that's interesting, like just on the one part where you brought that, because it's like when you like, so one, okay, let me address it in order. Excuse me. So number one, I want to address the fact of like just artists, like in general, artists, we always have like the people, it's always the people closest to us who are not so like supportive, right?
Yeah,
and like
sure.
I think us like our season, excuse me, artists who are a little bit more seasoned, we kind of know this already. We kind of like know, my best, like all the people who are like, yeah, it's my best, they're not coming to the show.
They're not coming.
No, they're not coming. They're not the
They
ones,
might come once.
They might come once, but they're
to
not the one.
satisfy their curiosity.
Exactly. Or to say,
support
you
you
know, I
that one
supported you that
time.
one
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yep,
for
just so they
sure.
can say they supported. But it's never going to be the people closest to you that's going to support you. But
It's usually strangers. Like
always strangers.
some of the most random people I've met have been like my most solid supporters.
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah,
People
they
I haven't
believed in
even
me
met.
the most. Like,
yeah, I was like people I haven't even met.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but like,
real.
one thing, kudos to you and congratulations to you for like betting on yourself and taking that step. And one thing I want to do also say, like, to you and to everyone else watching, because I have like a career field also that's like completely in the dental field, completely separate, and it's like I don't practice anymore, and it's like I don't want to, right? However, one thing we have to know is that we went to school and got these careers. We can always go back to them. If for any reason at 60 years old, if I need
You
to
can
go,
always get
if I need to
another
go do some
job, bro.
braces,
Like-
I can go do some braces. No problem. It's not a
Yeah,
problem for
you
me.
can
Like I know,
always get another
always
job,
can get another job.
for real.
So it's not like you're losing an opportunity or anything. You're actually gaining opportunity because you're betting on yourself to win. And when when you believe in yourself that much, you're gonna win. And everyone, and then before everyone starts getting, how you gonna? Everyone's definition of success is different.
That's
that looks
real.
like something different for everybody.
very real.
Your
Yeah.
success and my success might be two different things. So I might have reached success and you don't even know that I have because it doesn't
Because
sound
you're
like it looks like
comparing
for
me to you.
Comparing
or your
it, yeah.
values, you know.
Exactly. So everyone,
yeah.
you gotta like realize that. So, but congratulations for you because I always get excited when I hear people say like, yeah, full-time musician. I'm like, yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want. We want creatives. I always say like monetize your passions. We want creatives to be able to sustain themselves and be able to take care of themselves, right? This is what we want for creatives. And if we're able to do that in any way, I'm always here for it. Getting booked during the daytime that's like the hey,
Yeah.
come on over here. That's the come on over here. That's the come over to this side. As far as like relationship go, I think like, you know, as you were saying, like the relationship with the elders. And I think like at some age we create our own family. Right. Like we're at a certain age where it's like we're always gonna love our family no matter how close you were to them. But we're creating our own families. We have children now. Like we are like creating our own traditions and our own like family values and stuff.
And
yeah,
unit.
like
So,
we don't have to like do what they were doing. I'm close with my parents. Love them to death. Like, you know, but you know, if they didn't like whoever they happen to like my man. But like if they didn't, like I don't. Yeah. Like
okay.
why? Why don't you like them? Oh, because you don't like them. That's what it sounded like to me. Okay,
right. Like
boom.
I don't like my mom's partner. That's like
Yeah,
deciding
right?
that whether or not they're around me. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? So that's like
That's a good way to put
whatever.
it too, just to give it some
some
duality.
dynamic. Yeah, like
But nope.
Bruh.
Listen. You gotta you know family's opinion. I in my personal opinion should only matter, but so much because you're like I always say, you're the only you have. Like, you have to live with you. You have to die with you. You have to like get up every day. You have to like deal with all that. So like if this person who you're with is supporting you and like being there for you and like that's your person, how can a person who's not even like dealing with you and who's around you have any
Influence
say so?
that,
Yeah,
right.
any influence. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But you guys let us know in the comments, how much does your family's opinion matter in your relationship? Let us know in the comments because we love to hear what you think.
Yeah, but I will say, like, if you're in a non-positive dynamic and they're trying to like speak some life into you, like sometimes you might need to hear that. You might need to listen to that.
Yeah, if you're getting like dragged every day,
like
then,
you would need to,
if you're getting like
you might
beat
need
up.
to hear some of that. Yeah,
Like, this black guy,
let
no, he
yourself be
loves me.
saved, bro. Like,
Yeah,
let
no,
yourself
really.
be saved.
There's a comedian named Miss Pat.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh, she's so funny to me. I don't know why. Because usually her type of comedy really doesn't like maybe necessarily appeal to me that much, but like she's so funny to me. And she was like on I always used to watch her on Joe Rogan podcast. Oh, we gotta edit that out. I don't like that. Shout out to the podcast. Anyway, sorry.
He's a watcher on this alternative
yeah, I'm about
podcast.
to say he's like he ain't shouting us out, but no.
Yeah.
But I saw her on a podcast, and she was basically talking about she was saying how growing up, her mom used to tell her like, if he doesn't beat you, he doesn't love you. So she used to be like, yeah. She said,
Wow.
she said
That's wild.
she said every black guy was like a hickey to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so crazy because the influence can go either way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's like an example of like the
just
influence
passing
being
that trauma
terrible.
down the
Just
line.
passing
Like,
it down.
that's crazy.
And that's why it's so important for us to create our own family values, our own like morals compass that we can base off of, and not our family. Because I know like a lot of women who have been like raped,
Right.
with our they're always saying like they'll always be in a situation like, yeah, but my parents always said, what goes on in our house stays in our house. And it's like that's a thing that a lot of people like grew up on that's unhealthy. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I understand like you don't want to just have your kids telling all your business. I get that. But if something is like harmful to them or toxic, they need to be able to speak up and get the help they need. So that's one of those things. So it's like your family's opinion it could be like a negative, it could be, yeah.
Yeah,
It could just go either way.
It can hinder
Yeah.
your progress as a person.
Yeah, it's like,
or your
let me look-
perception of self, or
Yeah,
your value.
and especially if they don't really even like know you as a person. Like, people,
Right.
like I said, we're ever growing, we're ever changing. If we're not like staying in constant communication and like spending time together, you don't even know who I am anymore. For you to be telling me
I see
anything.
a lot of that with like the generational gap between like parents and like their youth. Like they I see that a lot. They like still think or see you as their child. And
Yes.
it's like, yeah, like I'm your child, but I was your child like 30 years ago. So, you know what I mean? Like you need to grow up a little bit because I'm grown now. Like, for
You
real.
need to catch up, right?
You need to
Where
grow
you
up.
At? Where you at in life? You don't
Yeah.
see this?
No, that's
that's
real.
real. That's real. That is a real thing. All right, I'm about to get into the next topic. Let's
Okay.
see. I like mixing them up too. What makes you feel most empowered? I think for me, it's like working hard and accomplishing things. I feel most confident when I've like worked really hard at something and accomplished it. That's like, I'm big on hard work. I think it's so satisfying. Like, I never really realized I guess I knew there was lazy people, but I just feel like I've maybe realized like my work ethic just like beats a lot of people. And that's just with like reflecting on self-reflection and like getting to know myself more. I'm like, oh wait, you work harder than like almost everybody. Like, it's crazy. Like, the amount of
that's
work
good
you
for
put in
you.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's important to me for people to understand that like it's important to have that ethic, that work ethic, because no matter what, like where you're at, what field you're in, if you apply that work ethic, it's gonna get you success. It's a plan for success. But I also feel that the other part I'm embracing of working hard is working smarter. So like I'm a hard worker to the point where, that didn't work. All right, let's do it all over. But go ahead, go. And it's just like
refinement.
Yeah, refinement,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, that's so important to me, but that's something new that I'm implementing because I'm like, oh wait, I don't have to be this tired. Okay, let me use my brain. So that's more what I'm working on. But yeah, I feel like that's definitely what makes me feel most empowered. I always feel confident. Like, I always feel my most confident and most like I'm in my ego the most
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
like
yeah.
accomplish something, especially something I like been working really hard at that I had like a long plan for, and it happens. I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm winning. Y'all
Yeah,
losing.
yeah.
Like I'm hyped.
I
you
did
know?
that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
did that. Like
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
hyped. So that's for me. But what
That's
about you?
real. Yeah, I would definitely draw some parallels like around what you said, like especially because like I'm a artist by profession, so like and I feel like there's like some duality to be said about this, but like I definitely would define my sense of empowerment around my successes and what I'm able to like produce as far as like resource and opportunity in my community. I
That's
feel
beautiful.
like that's when I'm like the most proud of myself, or like would be like I feel really in my bag is like achieving
Yes.
something creatively through my art and my business. Like those successes really help like me find confidence, or pick me out of like a space where maybe I'm not feeling very confident. Um, like I know I had a show like last weekend in DC, and I haven't really been booking shows recently because I've been like focusing on this project. I've been slowing down a little bit with my company, my production company, and just like focusing on making art and not like selling the art and like advertising myself and stuff. Um, but that show was really really opened my heart up, and like just my mental space I feel like was a little clearer, just seeing like people. I don't really have expectations around that, but just like seeing people from my community, like supporters, come and like come to my show and watch me perform and like give me a little bit of that energy back that I've been like pouring into the community. And it did like introduce like a sense of empowerment and like fulfillment. And I killed that show. Like it
Yes.
was a really sick show. It was probably one of my best performances, like
That's awesome.
my
Because you had all that
period.
energy.
Like,
You had all that energy there. It was
yeah.
like everything was where it was supposed to be in alignment.
Yeah, and just like being celebrated for like myself, like just the person that I am being celebrated, and not necessarily having to go and earn that celebration. Like I didn't have to like. It was a nice show. Like I didn't have to sell tickets to it and stuff
Yeah,
too. So it
yeah.
was like really like I didn't have to like put my value into like a material or monetary reciprocitous like exchange, like it was like as a performing artist, like that's really a blessing. Like
It
you
is.
get booked and
It is.
compensated, you don't have to sell tickets. Like
It
that's
is.
really a blessing. So I was already really happy about that agree or that arrangement. But just like seeing that to fruition, and like seeing people come and celebrate me for just like being myself, and like the progression of where I've come from and like
Right.
where I am right now, like that really introduced me to like a sense of empowerment and
Yeah.
fulfillment. And yeah,
I
I
love
would put that
that.
in there. And like and there's the duality of that is like, yeah, like when I don't have a lot of that, like I do feel like a little less than,
Yeah.
is the truth. But I think that comes with like artistry and entrepreneurship, is
It
like,
does.
those, it's like the highs and lows. It's not like I'm going to work every day and just like maintaining this like baseline level of standardized performance. Like, you
Yeah.
go to your job every day, you get through your day, you do your what work is expected, and you get your check and you get your little reward at the end. Like, this is not like, it's not like that. So like you got to go and earn that and display your value constantly, and
Yeah.
display that to new people and to the ones who are retained. So
That's so true.
yeah.
And like you said, when you like, I want to bring that up. When you said when you go to work, if you go to work every day, and clock in for someone else, you're literally building someone else's dream. That was huge for me when I worked
Right.
in the dental field. I worked for an orthodontist who was like, it was like a private practice, right? But it was
Okay.
a traveling private practice. So
Yeah.
we would go
That's
from
a little
office
better
to office. Kind of. I mean,
than a
yeah.
commercial company kind of
Yeah,
situation.
It
But
was it had its pros, it had its cons. But
for
the
sure.
biggest con
Yeah.
to me was one day we were in Harrisburg. Working in Harrisburg. We sat down for lunch, and I forget what. I think I went to this little like Spanish place and I had like, I think this was when I was still eating meat, so I had like my
You
whole
vegetarian?
spread.
Pescatarian?
Pescatarian.
Okay.
Yeah, I had
Hell
my
yeah.
whole spread or whatever, right? And I'm about to like tear it up. I had like the little sausages. I had the fried cheese. I forget what everything is called. So I had the whole thing spread out, right? Because you got to like make it as you eat it. And he made us get up because he had a contractor coming to do to basically build an addition onto his house from the ground up, right? So I had to go I had to go eat lunch in my office. I mean, in my office where I'm like that smells like dental tools, where I just was in somebody's mouth. I had to go eat in there real quick, because he had this contractor coming and he was like getting all these additions put on his house and all this, and it was just like, it reminded me that I'm paying for that. So every time that I did a patient and I got my check, which was capped at that, there was no room for me to make more money. There's always room for him to make more money.
Right,
he can
right.
add another office. I'm capped here.
Right.
He's
you can only
here.
make as much as they say.
Exactly, as they say, but he's getting,
Yeah.
and it reminded me, like, you got to have something for yourself. Like, you can't depend on this person, because once all the additions are built, he's old, he's 70 something. Everything,
Yeah.
all the additions are, once they're built on his house, he's gonna be ready to retire, and that leaves you where?
Starting over.
So that, and a lot of that, it reminds me, like, when you're clocking in for somebody else, you're not like, you're building their dream. Just like
Right.
you need to be building yours, you're building theirs. Like, you're helping them out. Like, it's really a favor for them, because they giving you this little couple dollars that means nothing in the greater scheme of things. So like, you're really doing them a huge favor. So that's why I get so
That's
excited
real.
when people just like bet on themselves and just take the chance on themselves, because whatever like education you have or experience, even if you don't have any education, whatever experience you have, you're gonna have that experience after. Take the chance. And if you put 100% in, you're only going to get 100% back. You only get 75 back when you put 75 in. Like, we have to like realize that we're going to literally get out exactly what we put in. So when we're not getting what we want, we have to think about like all the reasons why. Second thing I want to just say in reference to what you were saying about feeling empowered, I do too. When I don't feel like accomplished, I feel like, oh, I haven't done anything. Like, what am I bringing to the table?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I used to think I was the table, but now I'm like, I'm like the little wedge that keeps the table from rocking. I'm nothing. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, like, am I a loser? Like,
so I'm like, you need to go work, go sweep the floor, go do something. Like
Something.
it's something. But I feel
Yeah.
that too when I'm not like at my highest peak of productivity. Like, I'm always just like, oh, I need to be. Even if like, yeah, it could be something like, you need to go fold that laundry, and I'm saying that to myself right now, like, Pink, you need to go fold that laundry. When you go home, go fold that laundry, because you know it's waiting for you. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tonight, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know next week if I did it.
I'm gonna do
gonna
it
let you-
tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
You know, I'm doing it tomorrow. But like, yeah, that's how it is. So you like, we just, I truly
Yeah.
believe that and I feel like that just comes with like, you feel more valuable. You feel more when you feel confident. You feel more valuable. So if you're not
That's
like
real.
doing things to make you feel valuable, you just feel like nothing. You feel worthless. So
Yeah.
that's why again why hard work is important. So you guys, let us know in the comments what makes you feel most empowered. If it's hard work too, let us know. If it's the same thing as us, let us know. We still want to hear you. We want to hear what you think, so let us know in the comments. And it's on we're actually going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have more wild card topics. We have some pick a struggle questions, and we have more with Kim Black. So make sure you guys stay locked in, because you know once you locked in, ain't no switching up. We'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. This is Jimmy Rafer from Super Big Media, and you're here on the Ranting Raving Podcast on Stereotype Radio.
Yo, this is Spinatra. I just want you guys to know you're tuning in today to Ranting Raving Podcast on Stereotype Radio. Have a good day.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Ranting Raving Podcast. We are about to get into some more wild card topics, and the next one is on Kim Black.
It's my time to shine.
Yes, shine.
All right, this one says, should we normalize women proposing to men? Dang, me personally, I would be flattered, bro. I would be flat, but only if I was like already dating her and we were together. I would probably be like, yeah, like that. You know
would
what
go
I'm
for
saying?
it?
I would go for it because, like, you know how they say like, oh, like it's men's job to get women flowers, you know? Like, men only get flowers when they die, you know? Like,
Ooh, I don't like that.
so,
That's true though.
yeah.
I hate that for us.
Yeah, me
women.
too. But I do get it. Like, it's the man's job to propose, and like I personally would not want my woman to propose to me. But if she were to propose the idea to me, I would be receptive to that. But I don't want to see my lady like get down on her knee
Yeah.
and ask me to be her man, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm cool on that, but I've seen it on the internet, and when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, but like, dude is not like, dude is ugly. Like, you sure you want that for you? Like, that's crazy. Like,
This is what you want.
that's what you want. And a lot of the time they don't even want her. Like, they don't even want her, and they be telling them no. So I'll be like, you feeling a little desperate?
Yeah, see, that's my thing. Like, I'm
But
completely
we be getting
against.
told no too. So I mean, like,
You do.
it works both ways. Like, you know, I feel like sometimes people just be afraid to pull the trigger. But I feel like as a man, like, so the reason I feel like if your man really loves you and he wants to get married, he's the kind of man who wants to get married. Like, he most likely does want to marry you. But I think from my perspective, like, society just makes it hard for a man to feel comfortable or confident in being married, because like I'm a full-time artist and entrepreneur. Like, I'm not flush with like hella money, you know, but I definitely see like women, you know, even women who you know, they have like the bad bee mentality, or like even like, you know, some kind of like traditional women, or like career or success driven women, like they kind of just make it hard, I feel like, for men to feel like they're at a point where they could propose or be putting themselves in that position. Because I hear a lot of women kind of just like subliminally discouraging men to propose to them.
Yeah.
And I know in like my previous relationships, like I was, I didn't mean to say plural. My previous relationship, my like my child's mother just made me feel like I wasn't at a point in my life where that would be like appropriate for her. Like, I didn't qualify because I didn't make an abstract amount of money that should be enough but couldn't give me a dollar amount, you know, or like I should have these milestones or something that would qualify me to be husband material, or like just these subliminal things. And I think women kind of like discourage men from feeling confident in stepping into that role. Or like, you know, I think I covered it, but like, you know, just like the financial thing, like a lot of those things really don't matter. I feel like to me it wouldn't make me feel disqualified for being husband material. But hearing like my partner or my love interest or other women just say these rhetorics over and over again, like, just discourages me and other men from feeling like they want to propose, because the women don't really sound very appreciative, or they have this like abstract expectation of
False
like,
sense of entitlement.
yeah, entitlements and like those kinds of things, where that they just express and spew, and then after they say it so many times, you're like, well, dang, like maybe I'm not husband material, and you can just be a single mother.
See, it
Like,
it sounds harsh, but how true is it? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's
I mean,
very,
that's what
very
it
true.
is, like,
it's very true.
yeah.
As women,
Men want to get married.
They
Like,
do.
we do want to marry y'all, but y'all like, and not even sound toxic, like y'all just say things to us to make us feel insecure, or like we just shouldn't marry you because we don't qualify based on your imagination and expectations.
And based off social media, I'm gonna say it comes from social media. It comes from social media, as we know, only gives you the highlight reels of people's life. So you get the shiny, the best parts, right? I mean, just like, I'm gonna get into what you said, but just a quick example. TikTok. There's a girl who's super viral on TikTok. If you're a TikTok storytime watcher, how you doing? Me too. So she's started a page. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shira7. She is a woman who is kind of like the opposite of Kevin Samuels. She calls broke men, quote unquote, broke men dusties. And she will tell you, don't marry for love, marry for money. Yeah. She said back in the day, they didn't marry for love. They married for land. They married for animals, for resources, right? And then you learn to love that person.
Marriage was a business proposal.
Business proposal. And
it was an exchange for resources.
And it still is
I would trade you my daughter for land and some cows and some whatever.
And hopefully y'all learn to love each other. Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully, right? And
but it was a business proposition. And that's why now you get married and it's a contractual agreement with the state government.
Hello. That's what it comes down to. So Shira7 promotes that, right? And this girl learned everything she knew from Shira7. And she said, yeah, I found out from what a high value man is. I found out, like what I should be accepting and what I shouldn't be accepting, right? Follow me. So this woman starts a YouTube channel and it's called Trophy Wife. And she's basically saying everything that you should be doing to qualify yourself as a trophy wife, right? If you want a high value man. And so I want to say this, a lot of these, like this rhetoric, because that's what it is, that's being spewed out, we have to understand that it applies to certain people. Like, people used to get mad at Kevin Samuels because he'd be like, okay, you're overweight, you got 5 kids by 3 different men, and you want a what?
Right.
Be realistic, right? So the false sense of entitlement comes from, we see all this on social media. We see like, oh yeah, my man just bought me a new Birkin, and we, oh, I want that. Do we? Or do we just see it and it looks cool, so we make ourselves believe that we want it? And then as much as we're repeating like the things that you're saying, like that women may say to make men feel insecure, they might hear it one time, spit it back to you, right? To see how it, just to test it out.
Right, see how it lands.
See how it lands, right?
Right.
But once you continue to say something, it becomes what? An affirmation. Now you're affirming it. Now you're making it real. You're manifesting it. Right. So we have to be careful how we use our words and what we're saying, because we could be saying the most, like, affirmations aren't always positive. You can have negative affirmations. Like, one thing I try to stop saying, I hate when I say I'm unalived. When I'm laughing and say I'm unalived. I can't stand when I say that, because I'm like, oh, stop saying that, because you're speaking that upon yourself. Like, everything we say all of our words have power. So if we're speaking negatively into our man, then that's going to have a reflect on, on the relationship. But I don't like that. I really feel like that's so true. Like, men don't get flowers until
we don't. And I've had women,
had
women I've dated tell me like, oh, you don't make enough money for me to feel confident or to be in my feminine. I'll be like, what the?
You know what?
Like,
but see, it's so much more
I'm not
than
asking you to pay for dinner. Like,
it's so much more than financial, though.
It's not.
It's so much more than financial.
It's not
like,
the financial
a
thing.
man can make you feel safe and comfortable and stable and all the things, and still be like struggling financially.
Right.
Because guess what? It's very few people who aren't struggling financially, because even if you have, what you would call yourself stable, you probably have something you're investing in, or a goal that you're trying to reach.
Or trying to maintain a lifestyle, and you're a couple checks away from your life falling apart,
Exactly. And that's most people.
You miss a check or two and you can't afford that. And now that house that you built is compromised and starting to crumble. And like, yeah, I see it a lot, but
it's true. And I feel like
it's really interesting. And I feel like sometimes, like, not to sound like sexist or anything, but like, women really be talking themselves out of believing themselves out of a good thing.
Yes.
Or don't know that they have a good thing.
But you know what that comes down to? The insecurities within themselves, though. Yeah. So it becomes an insecurity within yourself. Like, you are so insecure that you feel like you need a man to fill those insecurities, and it doesn't work that way. Like, you may not feel financially stable by yourself, so you feel like you need a man with like who makes 20 times more than you, so that way you can feel financially stable. But really, you need to be investing in yourself to make sure that you can sustain yourself, whether you have the man or not. And I also think that women should contribute. Like, I'm not saying everyone's relationship looks different. Everyone's dynamic looks different, right? But I feel like as a woman, however you contribute, make sure you're contributing as much as the man is, right? And that doesn't mean financial. Like, everyone get out of their heads with financial, because financial is
50-50 like 50-50 on the bills. Yeah, like
everyone's so hype about that 50-50 thing. Like, everybody's household is ran different, but you have to in terms of reciprocation, like, do you guys like love each other? Do you respect each other? Do you trust each other? Can you communicate? Can you comprehend? Like, one thing I noticed is that I don't communicate as well as I thought I did. Yeah, like I talk a lot, so I'm like, oh, I talk good because I talk a lot. Just because you talk a lot don't mean you talk good.
Yeah,
Sometimes
and the
when I'm
accountability
upset,
thing too is that's a really big thing.
It's
like
huge.
I'll be
But
yeah. oh
Another
my
reason
God.
why I don't like let's say why I don't like the fact that like women or I don't want to normalize women proposing to men is because it takes a woman out of her femininity and it takes a man out of his masculinity.
Yeah,
How do you know a man is not like so back in the day it used to be a three check rule. You use three payments out of your 3 checks to buy the ring, right? That's like a older
the
rule.
value of your 3
The value of
paychecks.
your 3 months should be your ring, right? Should be
your ring.
your ring.
Okay,
So,
right. Okay.
So if we're based, I don't really agree with that, but that's just like an old time whatever standard.
Right.
So
okay. I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're saying that, how do you know you're sitting here? You proposed to him. How do you know he wasn't on the second month of the third month of getting you the ring? You don't even know. Men. So one thing I know about men, when they want to do something, they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You don't have to force a man to do. You can't force a man to do anything. If he does it and he doesn't want to do it, then he's more than likely doing it to appease you for whatever reason, and it's not going to end up going well. You have to understand that as a man, if he's like comfortable in his masculinity, as long as you're not like berating him and bringing him down, like if he's comfortable in his masculinity, when he's ready, he's going to make that move. And I think a conversation needs to be had. Like there has been a time where I've been proposed to, and I wasn't like. I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to get married at that point, at that point in my life. So it was kind of like this is weird. You know what I mean? The conversation wasn't had. A conversation needs to be had between a couple who's at that stage where like it might be in talks of it. You guys need to be actively having conversations,
right?
Yeah, about it to make sure that you guys are both on the same page about it. Because what if he's like, I'm not, I just want to finish, maybe I want to go back to school and finish school before we get married or something like that. Like,
right.
and that's not a bad thing to say. So it's like, you don't assume that you know what how the other person's feeling and go ahead and just take the leap. Because, and then, I've asked this question before. We even had someone who was like mentioning that they felt like embarrassed about it. Like, you going to do this in front of my family and friends? Like, get on your knee in front to me in front. And I thought that was hilarious. The way he said it was just hilarious. But like, that's true. Like, now you're embarrassing me. Now you're making me feel like I'm less than a man. Again, emasculating me, right? And not even meaning to.
Yeah. So,
it's one of those things. But I definitely feel like it's important.
It's crazy because like I've definitely like at one point there was a woman that I was like interested in marrying, and we were like in talks of like how you had mentioned, like in talks of like what that would look like, and she had, and I was like listening to her explain like this ideal fairy tale scenario of like how that would look for her, and I was like. And it was funny because like I'm building like something very specific in my life, and I think like jokingly she said like, oh, like the worst thing I feel like you could do is like propose to me in like this one specific way, and like the way that she had said it was like the way that I had almost planned to do it.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't a bad thing. It was just like against what she wanted in her imagination. And I was like, oh well.
Well, that's
but
that's why it's so important to have those conversations. Imagine you doing that and then my God, that could have been
crazy.
That could have went to
But I think that for her it was like it wasn't necessarily like the way that I was going to do it. It's just she had like a very specific way that she had imagined it happening for her. And if it wasn't that, then it was just like a deal breaker or like not ideal. And I'm like, you can't.
This is why women
tell the man how and when to propose to you.
Like what?
And expect him to have enthusiasm about it. Like,
exactly.
Love, this isn't a kindergarten class, like, you know?
Oh my God.
And so I was just like, this is too much like of this imaginary fantasy fairy tale rhetoric going around.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, are we living?
We need to be in reality sometimes.
An adult reality. Adult when
reality.
When we were 7, we all played bride with the flowers and the fake. We all did it. We all put, well, I don't know if everybody did, but we all put beach balls on our stomach. Like, yeah, I'm pregnant now. Ah. I used to do that when my mom was pregnant with my brothers. I used to put like balloons and beach balls under my stomach and like be like, ah, look, mommy. Like, she's always smacking out, like, stop doing that. But like, you know, like we all, I think not all, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of us who had healthy childhoods, like had imaginations about one day getting married and having kids. And like, it was a whole thing. Right. And then we step into reality. It's 2024, right? A lot has changed about the world. One thing that should not change is men and their masculine energy and women and their feminine energy. Men and women, if you didn't know, they're not created equal, right? We're not equal. We're very different.
We're strong in different ways.
But together we like are like what is it, like Teen Titans or something? I don't know, like
the Avengers,
like the Avengers. I don't know, yeah,
whatever.
Star Labs, like
the Megazord or whatever.
Yeah, whoever your team of choice is, we are the dream team. We are like G Unit in its prime. We are Rockefeller in its prime. When women and men come together and they're like, and they're in their divine energy, like everything comes together perfectly. But we have to stay in our place. And I think that women have a hard time. And like, when I say women, I include myself. Sometimes I'll be talking back too. I'll be like, okay, like shut up. I think stop talking back.
I'm gonna blame westernized feminism on this one because it's like,
true.
Because feminism today is not what it was about back then. Like feminism today is about like now. It's really backwards and disgusting and more about like dismantling than it is empowering. Yes, and that's like, I'm like, when did this happen?
I don't know. I want to blame Amber Rose, but I know it's not her fault. But like, she really drives me crazy. Her like what, like she's anyway. Not shout out to Amber Rose.
And now everything about men is toxic.
Yes.
Anything that women don't like about men is toxic masculine. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what
how can we, like women, we have to, another thing is women have to stay out of men's business and men have to stay out of women's business. Imagine if this room was full of women, right? And we all, and you just come in like, no, I don't like pink for your nails. All of y'all take off the pink nail polish. I want yellow in here. Yeah. Everyone gonna be like, man, you don't even get out, and then you're gonna be pushed out of the room. So why? Right. Like, we have to understand, we have to stay on our own lane. Like, if it's not your man or your uncle or father or brother checking you, maybe, or someone close to you checking you, it's just everyone needs to stay in their place. I'm not even gonna get into that. Everyone needs to stay in their place. But another thing about women proposing to men is that women have this thing where they need to have control. Right?
Yeah.
And it's all women. It's all women. I don't care. It's all women. Because I was like, I'm not one of those women, but I am. I just have certain ways about it. So everyone has their own specific situations or whatever. But you guys let us know in the comments. Do you think we should normalize women proposing to men? You heard we had to say, I don't think so. But you let us know in the comments because we love to hear your thoughts. All right, we're about to head on to the next.
All right, let's get it.
If you could know the truth behind any secret or mystery, what would it be? So y'all know I'm a big conspiracy theorist. There's so many I want to know. Currently, I don't know. I had one in mind, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I want to know more about aliens and like how much because there's so many.
Like, what's actually happening in Antarctica? Yeah. Like,
Antarctica.
Like, what's really happening there? Like, why is there a government military base around the whole world?
And
why
the North, I think and the North, was it the North Pole?
The North Pole and the South Pole, they're both blocked off, and you can't even see it on Google Maps. It's blocked off.
But there's like these like there's
special
labs
government
there.
Access to go there.
There's a bunch of labs in the North. I can't remember if it's the North or South. It might be both, but there's like a bunch of like labs that are like, they like built them like kind of underground, I guess, and they're like doing whatever down there. So yeah, that one.
Yeah, like if you go on Google Maps right now, you can see the whole world from satellite except the North and South Pole. Yeah. Like it's just not there on the map. So like, why is that? Why is it there?
Yeah.
The world doesn't just end there. Yeah. But like they don't show it.
And I want to know
at all.
They don't. And I want to know too, like, what?
Not even a conspiracy. They just don't show you what it looks like there.
Yeah, and I want to know, like, what qualifies you to go over there? Like, Like I know everyone has
You
their
have
own
to have a certain
sectors.
clearance, like,
Yeah, like what qualified? Because I was watching something about a guy in the CIA, and he was like, he basically was like went against the CIA, and like they don't even know how he's alive right now. He went like rogue, kind of like, but he's like okay somehow, and he was basically saying like. Yeah, like he's like yes. The first question the guy asked him, he's like, so how did you get in the CIA? Like, how did this happen? He was like, well, it's like one of those things where like you got to know someone who knows somebody who knows somebody. So it's never random, or it's like if you get scored like exceptionally high on your SATs, they're kind of looking at you. Like, or if you're one of those, I forget those like world like intelligent groups or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're one of those, they like look at you. But if not, you have to know someone. So he pretty much like applied through someone else who applied and took that guy's job. Actually, which was crazy. But yeah, so it's one of those things like, what do you need to do? Like, what do I need to do? Let me know, because I want to go. I want to see what's going on. Maybe I don't want to go, but I want to know what's going on. I'm nosy. I want to go. I know. And Antarctica, same. Like, and why do all the snitches go to Alaska? What is so special in Alaska about for like to hide people? Because there's like society there. There's like, it's not like it's like Antarctica, like it's like a regular life. So like, what makes it so special for all the people who like do bad things?
Yeah.
Like, why do you go there? Like, why?
Right.
So there's a bunch, but you guys let us know in the comments if you can know the truth behind any mystery, conspiracy, or like secret in the world. What would it be and why? Let us know in the comments because we love to hear from you.
Right.
All right, we're gonna get into our last wild card. Kim Black is gonna grab it, and then we're gonna get into a pick a struggle.
All right. Let's see. All right. This one says thoughts on women dating while pregnant.
Because it's a thing.
This is so messy, bro. I do not. Oh, man.
No, so let me give you context, right?
All right.
Let me give you a context. I gotta give you some context here because this can't get messy. So there was a I don't know if it wasn't really a doc. It was just something I watched on YouTube. I love YouTube about women dating while pregnant, and so a lot of them. So some of them were like pregnant because they like just like artificial insemination kind of thing. They just kind of like were like career women who just wanted a baby with no man, whatever. Right, so we have those, right? Okay. And then we have some who are like kind of like just the single mom
separated from their child's father,
yeah,
kind of thing.
And then there's just all these variations. But then there's also variations of the men. So they have some men apparently who like pregnancy is their kink. So they won't necessarily like even want to like have like actual intercourse with them, but they just kind of like enjoy watching them eat and like enjoy buying them gifts. Just everything about it. Like they just love to be in their presence, whatever. So like there's those, and then there's some who are like, so there's some men who are dating pregnant women based off the fact of like them like maybe not having kids, maybe being a little older, not having kids, and you have someone who's a little younger who's already pregnant and like in need of like that, so that situation just kind of comes together.
You get to fulfill a role kind of thing.
Yeah,
and hero complex,
savior complex, need me, that sort of thing. And then we have there's like other men who just are dating a woman who just you just have to be pregnant, okay? And then there's like people who have the nasty kinks for pregnancy, and then there's also who I think this wasn't included, but I think they also have like chomos who like will prey on a woman who's pregnant and in need, and like kind of like, oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be right there. That sort of thing, like gross stuff. So there's all these different variations of why, but it's not always just like, but I understand what you mean. It can get messy, but it's always so based off those, like that little bit of context, like what is your thoughts? Do you think that women should, or they shouldn't, or like, do you think it's up to them, or like, All
right, I'm gonna just like from my own experience, like when my child's when me and my child's mother were like going through her pregnancy, like I think like circumstances just really subject to the situation, but like sometimes it's made difficult to stay in the relationship during the pregnancy because like emotions just be like all over the place, and sometimes like women do just be running away from situations instead of like navigating through them. And I know for like me, that in my case, like in my situation, that was kind of the case. Like we were like breaking up a lot during the pregnancy because of just like combativeness and emotions and like that kind of thing. So it was hard for me to like stay there through that, and like watching the dynamic just like fleet away from me, and like having to go back and like bring the thing back constantly. So like I'm not a deadbeat kind of dad person. So I would be really like upset to see my child's mother dating someone while pregnant. But I mean, she had to watch me date other people while she was pregnant. So I mean, judge me as you may. But
no, I mean,
that wasn't my choice. Like I think I kind of just like found myself in this situation. I'm like, I'm not just gonna be like thrown away at convenience and just like be here waiting for you to decide that you want me.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of frustrating. But if you're broken up and you don't want to have anything to do with your child's mother, then you don't really get to have say in what she got going on. I mean, your entitlement may decide otherwise for you mentally, but like if you don't want that woman, like you don't get to have say in what she has going on. So that's a real thing. But I get why people would have that feeling, and we're all adults more or less. So like if you're not trying to fulfill that, then and she's needing something that she could get from somewhere else, like you kind of just gotta let them go and have that.
Yeah,
if you don't want your child's mother dating while she's pregnant, then try your best to be there.
Yeah, it is.
And,
it's
not always that cut and dry, but
there's ways to make it work.
Messy.
Yeah, it can get messy. Women are like, personally, I just think about like all my pregnancies, they were terrible. Like I can't like even when I just looking back at pictures when I felt my cutest, like at my baby shower and stuff like that, I was still ugly as hell. Like I'm just saying, like when I'm pregnant, I don't feel like glowy. Like, oh, you're glowing. Like I'm dying. Like but like I just don't feel like attractive, I guess, during my pregnancy. So like dating would be just like what? Like, oh, you think I'm attracted? You see this? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't even feel like my normal self. I don't feel like my normal self. I get sick a lot. So imagine like just me like, oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like, I just think of like all the things that come with pregnancy, the backaches.
I feel like men who want to be fathers and that kind of thing, like that's not unattractive to us.
It's not, but like, if it's someone that didn't impregnate you.
Right.
That there's that connection, that bond it's not there. Right, like you're looking at this girl like, why she keep throwing up? It's almost like you're the drunk girl who can't drink.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that. I can see that.
It's like, when you know you played a part in creating, you're like, of course, you're like every little thing you just want to, you're like, oh,
celebrate.
Yeah, you're just excited. But
it is beautiful. Like it's a really beautiful process. Like,
it really is a beautiful process. And like women, it definitely like it changes you as a person.
If you're a beautiful person, then it is beautiful to watch that. Yeah. But if you like ain't really nothing, we ain't
gonna watch it all.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. But I feel like every woman, I'm not gonna like say how women, because right now just in like the US, like women are having so much say-so put over their body and like what they can do and what they can't do. So I'm not gonna like get like say what I think they should or shouldn't do, but I'm gonna say every woman should have emotional intelligence when they're like thinking, because when you're pregnant, you are at your highest peak of emotions. Like you're not really thinking straight clearly. Yeah. So you need to make sure that
that's
like
real.
The decisions
Thanks
you're
for
making.
That.
Yeah, they are, they really, because people don't acknowledge that. And they always think like, oh, pregnancy brain is a thing. Pregnancy emotion is a thing. Pregnancy appetite, all these things that happen with pregnancy, you are like growing a body and you're growing a you inside of you. Like it takes a lot. So we just want to make that know that we're making the best decisions for us and our children while pregnant. And don't be so quick to like run away from, your like significant other who you created this baby with. Like try to make it work. If it doesn't work, then clearly walk away. But like put in your best effort and put on your best effort, women, like on the other side. Like don't be so quick to like try to like make him, push him away and make him leave. Even though it's like one of those things that they say, the more that you like your kid's dad gets on your nerves during your pregnancy, the more the baby's gonna look like him.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's probably a true thing. So
my daughter looked just like me.
See?
That's my twin, bro. That's my twin. Okay.
See? That's and you just heard they was like going through it. Twinning them. That's how it goes every time. All right, we are gonna get into pick a struggle. All right. So there's two pick a struggle top questions. And I'm going to let you... Oh, I got to pick for a section. That's my turn. But
okay.
Go ahead, pick it.
All right, let's do it.
Would you rather be a mainstream music star with no privacy or an indie artist with full control and ownership and privacy, but no big awards and accolades? Both come with the same amount of income.
All right. I'm going to take the indie artist route.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the indie artist route because I'll be watching these celebrities crash out
Yes.
on a regular basis. Like, they be drunk driving. They be at the club when they just gave birth. I'm like, how are you at the club?
How are you at the surgeon?
Right. You're getting your body done already? Like, you haven't even had time to oh my
Not
God.
they just opened you up for the C-section. Like, just relax.
You got a waist trainer on? Did you just give birth? Like, what's going on?
Wait, I'm not gonna hold the ladies. We need that faja. The faja we need not a waist trainer, but like a band, just a band that wraps around, because it'll keep your organs. It'll put your organs back together. Because when you just have a baby and you walk, like when I first walked after, especially having a C-section, I felt my organs going like this on the inside of me. I never felt nothing like. I was like, what? I was like, wrap me up, Ma. I was like, Mom, where's the thing? Wrap me up. But in terms of that, but no, I agree with you on 100%. I do not like, the older I get, the more private I become. I'm a very outgoing, very talkative, very look at me, hey. That's who I am naturally. And the older I get, the more I try to tone that down. The older I get, I do see the benefits in it, but I try to tone it down because I enjoy privacy so much more than I ever have. Like, it's so important to me, especially like the older my kids get, like, you just kind of want to allow them, like, you know what, Boogie has this thing, right? He was telling me, right? He was like, you know, like in terms of like, we were talking about people posting their children on the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
I only post my daughter and my close friends because I don't want like my general audience to
know, right?
See her or to be able to look into her eyes, like spiritually. I'm not really with that. Like,
right?
I'm not into that.
And we're artists, so we have like everyone, like we're literally saying, hey, everyone look at me, right?
Yeah.
But then think about even like, what if your kid grows up, because this is what he bring up to me. What if your kid grows up and they don't want to be put on the internet at all?
Yeah.
Now you didn't give them a choice.
Right.
And when he said that, it completely changed. And this is why, if you've seen me post my children in the past, and like in the last like maybe 4 or 5 years, you haven't seen me post, this is why.
Yeah.
Because I took that into heart. I was like, yeah, that's real. Like, you're not even giving them a fair chance. Because I think about my mom, who's always like, don't put me on the Facebook. My mom doesn't have any. She has AOL.
Right.
Like, she doesn't have any social
Yahoo
media.
Mail.
Yeah. She's got
that's
that.
real. And I'll piggyback off of that because like in the DMV, like we have our like, I work in the industry, so like I see a lot of like the child stars coming up and the parents who are, and this is like, I'm really conflicted around this because I do, like, me and my child's mother, we're both like full-time artists in different mediums, but we're both artists and work in the arts. So just like naturally, I'm like, yeah, I want my daughter to be like involved and immersed in the artist community and all that. But like, there's a lot of demons that come with that work, with that field of work.
Yes.
And I see like, I've seen a lot of child stars, and not to sound in any kind of way, but specifically with the girls, I just watch them. Like, I've seen child stars like in my own city, and like growing up and approaching like their teenage years, and now like their young adult years, and like those young girls, like they think they're young women. Like they really think they're young women, and they're sexualizing themselves, and their parents are sexualizing them. And I'm seeing 12-year-old girls treat themselves like they're a 21-year-old woman on the internet. And I'm like, why are you trying to be like sexy on Instagram? Like,
crop
this is
tops and long nails and weaves,
full glam and weaves and like doing sexy poses. And I'm like, this is not cool. And I don't mean to say sexy, but like that's what they're trying to do. Like,
no, that's what they're trying to do. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And it's disgusting. Like, it's not cool. And but I get it because
the influence.
That's the influence and that's the industry. But it is really a slippery slope, and I think the men don't really have like a kind of like a sexual angle to push. Like,
kinda. There's like, so
I mean, if you got muscles and money, you could flex that. But like,
I
feel like maybe queer men have that, but like
maybe a
heterosexual like.
There was this little boy.
Guy, not I don't know.
He was like 8 or 9, and he was like rapping about like receiving fellatio and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I do see. There's a like this kid, a rapper. I can't remember his name
we're probably
right
talking
now.
about the same one. Probably.
Yeah.
He's like, he's
He be
like
having
known for
money.
that.
He was on the Pop the Balloon and stuff. That kid.
Wait, I didn't know he had to pop the balloon.
He was on the Pop the Balloon telling grown women to do a 360 and
you know
stuff.
what?
I was like, what the?
That's what I don't like,
Bro,
though. See,
I'm
that
like,
just
and they
now
were
I'm pissed
doing
off.
it for him. And
No.
I was like, oh my.
And this
God,
is and if
bro,
it was a
like,
man, and if it was let's reverse the gender roles real quick. What would it be?
Yeah,
And
he's
this is
he's
why
a pedo or
this
whatever,
is
something like that.
exactly.
I'm
And
like,
why do
wow,
women never
bro.
get held accountable for being pedophiles?
Yeah.
When men get abused at a young age by them, they count it as their first time. They don't count it as abuse when it's abuse. When like, and it's so messed up. Even like, I always say this thing. What is a male cougar?
A sugar daddy.
Pedophile.
Oh,
Only because because if you flip the script, it goes immediately. Your mind goes there. If it's a man on a woman, your mind goes there.
Right,
if it's opposite, your mind doesn't go there. Your mind goes,
she's just being. She's just
Exactly.
being nice, or
Yeah,
she's just
like
being
when-
flirty
like
with
when
him, and that's cute and
yeah,
innocent.
no. Like when women
no.
used to call my son sexy, like when he was like a child, like yeah, look, he's so sexy.
Like I've seen a lot
who
of
you
women go,
talking to?
if you were 18, I would eat you up. I'm
That's
like,
disgusting.
he's 12.
He's 12.
He's 12.
Man,
though.
puberty is just arriving. Relax. like freaky.
Yeah,
Freaky.
I'm like, all right,
You were
because if a man said that to somebody else's daughter,
exactly.
like that's messed up, bro.
We always have to. I hate
it's
that he was
really-
on the
it's
Pop
really
the Balloon doing 360s. What is going
telling grown
crashing
women
out.
to do a
Her pa-
360.
His parents are crashing out for a check right now.
Yeah.
Your parents are crashing out for a check right now. They don't. I'm not gonna say they don't care about you, but they are using you as a pawn to get paid. Because
Yeah.
guess who's on them writing credits?
Right.
Not you.
Yeah, and that's how I feel when I see. I'm not gonna say her name, but there's a young lady in the DMV she's a child star. She's been on Nickelodeon. She's been on. Now she's going to galas and stuff like that, and I'll be seeing her post. Like I followed her since she was like a young lady, like a not even a young lady. She
Like
was
a
a little
kid,
girl.
yeah.
She was a little girl, and I would see her through like the industry and stuff like that. Like her parents would bring her to events. Like I used to model professionally, so I would like see her at modeling events. Like just her parents would bring her for exposure and like networking, just to like bring her around the thing. And then she got some contracts, and she got to be on Nickelodeon for a few seasons, and she has a show now. And
That's lit.
and it's lit. But now when I see her on Instagram, she's like, in her mind, she's like a 21-year-old baddie. And
That's so
and
sad.
all her content is like that. I'm like, she's in a Bentley, like with a crop top on and like doing something. I'm like, what
I don't like that.
What is happening right now?
We're
bro?
sexualizing our children and putting them on a platter
And
for the.
if a man says something, they're like, you're sexualizing her. I'm like, no,
Right.
you are sexualizing her.
Right.
I didn't put your child in a mini skirt and a crop top
Right.
and pumps. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
And
And
that's
then-
what they're doing. And like when I was teaching, I stopped teaching in 2019, and then I went back to teach at this art school after COVID. And when I went back to teaching at this art school, I taught for like a year. And when I went back post COVID, it was like the kids were different after COVID. Like there was a lot more queer kids. There was a lot more gay students. There was a lot more feminism present in the young girls. They were dressing more scantily and emulating those like
what they see on social
bad
media
behaviors that they be seeing on social media. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why did your parents let you leave in a mini skirt, young girl?
You know
You're
what's
in
so
the
crazy?
6th grade.
They
You're
probably
in the
didn't even
4th
know.
grade.
They probably didn't even know.
They know.
Well, yes. Okay, I'm going to break it down. There's some who know and don't care.
Yeah.
There's some who leave before their kids do because they're working so hard to provide a better life for them that they barely even see them.
Yeah.
And then you have the children
who are just arrogant.
Like,
Like, the parents are arrogant. They're like, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
He's
nothing
expressing
wrong with-
himself.
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
remember
there's
what
everything wrong with
everything
this.
wrong. My
Okay?
best friend in high school, Her dad was overprotective. He used to make her wear a turtleneck under her sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Like we used to wear like matching. We used to think we were mean girls, so we used to wear like matching outfits sometimes. And like, ew. And she used to like her hoodie sets, like Aeropostale hoodie sets when they were in Gap. She used to wear like a turtleneck underneath.
Yeah.
So as soon as she got to school, what do you think she was doing?
Taking it off.
Taking that turtleneck off. I used to wear heels
sure.
almost every day in high school.
Yeah.
And so when my mom told me, okay, like relax. What did I do? Brought the heels in my school bag and put them right on when I got to school.
Right, for
You're not
sure.
about to stop my shine. This is
Yeah.
what I do. This is what I do, baby. You're not about
Right,
to stop it.
right.
So little girls will put it in their
instilling
bag
those
too.
dynamics still matters. Like
They
it
do.
still makes
'Cause where they get 'em from.
difference. Right. From
At
the
sixth
outside
grade,
world.
but at sixth grade, the girl who coming in with the mini skirt, who bought it for you?
She bought it.
She-
Or her mom bought it.
Her mom bought it.
Behind
So
her dad's back.
Behind her
Right.
dad's back. Don't let your dad
Right.
see this. Or if your dad see this, make sure you're wearing something where leggings underneath. Yeah.
Or he's just not in the picture, and
Or-
they're very empowered.
Empowered women.
They're so empowered. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, you're
We need
not
to make sure our
empowered.
empowerment comes with our brain and our heart.
And not
And
your body.
yeah, not our body.
For
Like,
real.
what are we bringing to the table besides
Because
the
men
fact that we
do
can have
like
babies?
conservative women. Men are attracted to clothed women. And I know that, women say, well, we don't dress for the male gaze, but you do, bro. Like, y'all do
Yeah,
be
you
dressing for
do.
the male gaze because y'all like the attention. You just don't want to admit you like the attention
Yeah.
because it helps you feel more empowered.
Empowered, though. Empowered.
And that's it.
You gotta add the quotations, empowered. But you know what
Yeah.
the crazy part about all that is? Like, women, like, I always say this, like, there's ways to be sexy without being like hypersexual. Right.
Yeah,
There's so
that's
many
very
ways.
true.
And I have like a thing where like if you're and any time that I go against this rule, I feel uncomfortable. Like, and when I'm wearing it, I'm constantly pulling and tugging if I don't follow this rule.
Mm-hmm.
Legs out, top covered. Top out, legs covered. Meaning if I have like a V-neck that's a little like maybe a little cleavage is showing, there's no leg out. If my legs are out, then I'm gonna have on long sleeve, like whatever, just cover it. Like I think that when you do both, if you uncover both and it looks like too
An
much.
object.
Yeah,
You
you're
look like
identifying
an
yourself. Yeah.
object.
So you are
For
the
sure.
allure is there.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys let us know in the comments what you guys would do. But we are about to wrap up this episode. I knew it was going to be an epic episode. I manifested in the beginning of the episode it was going to be epic. So I know you guys enjoyed it. Kim Black, thank you so much for coming out. Do you want to leave the people with
thank you for having
anything?
me. Yeah, I got a project that's in the works right now. I've recorded it. It's called Alt Bay. Y'all definitely stay tuned for that. I'm doing like a media and press tour at the moment. Just to
Yeah.
like give people a little premise and context around this project coming out. Check me out on Instagram at the Kent Black. All one word. Just tap. I got a little bit going on. Also, if
Yeah.
you're an artist or an entrepreneur and in the DMV area, or you're coming to the DMV area, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, you're looking for resources. I do have a production company called Free Space. That's PHREESPACE, and we provide like resources for artists, like helping y'all get on the radio, get placement, booking opportunities for shows, stuff like that. So feel free to reach out. You're always talking to me, whether that's my personal page or my business page. But yeah, that's kind of what I got going on, and that's what we got going on in the DMV. So definitely tap in with us.
Yes.
I appreciate y'all
We're
for
about to-
having me
I was
out.
like, we about to
inviting me
tap in with
your
y'all. We
city.
about to make it. We got to
It's
come
been
to
a
your
blessing.
city.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
coming to your city next. So
Yeah, let me know.
Thank you so much for popping out, and you guys, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Ranting Raving Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube so you can get notifications about new episodes and also our clips. And make sure you follow me, your girl, at Hi Pinklee, HIPINKKLEE. Make sure you're following the Ranting Raving Podcast on Instagram as well, because we release clips a couple times throughout the week. It's gonna get you through your week. It's gonna get you through your week. It's gonna keep you entertained. Are you not entertained? It's gonna keep you entertained. All right. So make sure you guys stay locked in, because you know once you locked in, ain't no switching up. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Twin, where have you been?